somewhere near the 38th parallel, positioned just beyond minefields, layers of barbed wire, and armed guards, lies a North Korean village. They call it Kijong-dong. Painted rooftops, symmetrical buildings, glimmering glass. The colors are soft and deliberate, pale blues, muted greens, and careful whites. But if you were to watch long enough, you'd notice that something is missing. People. According to the DPRK, Kijong-dong is a model settlement, complete with electricity, schools and daycares, clinics, and nearly 200 residential buildings, each said to be housing smiling and prosperous citizens. It's said to be the pride of the Panmun district, but Kijong-dong is no regular village. It's a Potemkin village. The term traces back to Grigory Potemkin, a Russian statesman and military leader, or lover, perhaps, of no other than Catherine the Great, who at the time was an empress. In 1787, after the recent conquest of Crimea from the Ottoman Empire, Potemkin was desperate to impress the empress. He's said to have constructed villages along her path, canvassed storefronts and painted houses, hired actors posed as happy peasants waving from afar, but it was all a facade. Today, a Potemkin village means any elaborate illusion, built not to house people, but to shape perception, and Kijong-dong is its modern mirror. For decades, analysts from intelligence agencies have kept eyes on it. There's no smoke from chimneys in the winter, the village is wired, but on intervals, and the roads are swept clean, but no one seems to use them. According to defector testimony and independent footage, the buildings all neatly constructed, often like interior walls and furniture. Some are hollow concrete shells with just enough detail to suggest depth from afar. Others are mere silhouettes painted in photogenic pastel tones. The tallest structure is a tower flying the North Korean flag, which was built not for communication, but for competition with South Korea's flagpole in Daesong-dong. Kijong-dong was constructed in the mid-1950s as North Korea emerged from a brutal civil war that left over 3 million dead and much of the peninsula in ruins. The war ended not with peace, but with an armistice, a ceasefire, leaving the two Koreas technically still at war to this day. At the helm was Kim Il-sung, the revolutionary founder of North Korea. He was charismatic, calculated, and obsessed with optics. As Kim Il-sung built his cult of personality, he also constructed spectacles, grand boulevards in Pyongyang, the Juche Tower, and other monuments of military glory, and just beyond the border fence, Kijong-dong. A statement, a glittering promise to those staring at it through South Korean binoculars, a tool to woo defectors. A defector is someone who escapes or abandons their country, usually for political, ideological, or humanitarian reasons. In the Korean context, a defector is a fugitive of the regime marked by treason. Fleeing North Korea is not an act of departure, it's rebellion, a rejection of propaganda, and a mythology of Kim. Surveillance is constant, borders are mined, and guards are ordered to shoot on sight. And if you succeed, your family may not. Children vanish, parents disappear, but yet they still run. For defectors in border towns like Paju City, Kijong-dong loomed like a mirage with its uniform look and regular power. But up close, its purpose sharpened. It was bait, calibrated to trigger longing, to suggest that the North was flourishing, and that returning meant stability. That what lay on the other side wasn't repression, but order.
I had never seen that kind of symmetry. The buildings were too perfect, too quiet.
From the south, you can still spot the megaphones mounted to rooftops. They sit in rigid formation along the skyline of Kijong-dong, fixed in silence for now, but for decades, they weren't silent at all. Until 2004, Kijong-dong glared propaganda for nearly 20 hours a day from those rooftop arrays. On paper, these speakers could project from 15 to 20 kilometers, enough to reach deep into the ears of those in border villages, blaring patriotic anthems and slogans like, "Come back to the bosom of fatherhood, the North is paradise." But these weren't just government chants. They were calculated appeals, laced with guilt, using warm voices. Sometimes they read fake letters from supposed relatives, and other times the messages were hauntingly specific, like describing childhood memories.
Come back, your family misses you.
South Korea didn't stay silent. In the 2000s, the South began broadcasting pop music, weather reports, and banned news stories into the North. Bubblegum ballads, followed by grim reports of famine. Satellite scans over the years have shown that Kijong-dong's layout has barely changed, while other rural areas in North Korea show signs of actual human activity. Kim Jong-un has promised sweeping rural housing upgrades. Some say over 25,000 new homes were pledged in 2023 alone. Every day, hundreds of visitors peer at Kijong-dong through high-powered lenses from the joint security area. Tour buses arrive, military guides point out landmarks, and across the field, Kijong-dong glows like a stage. It's repainted every few years, the flagpole retensioned, but there are no tenants, just silence, a performance, a mirage, a question posed in concrete. And for nearly 70 years, no one has answered it.